Welcome back to the Team to Beat Miami Heat podcast, your one-stop shop for daily Miami Heat content. My name is Amir. For today's episode, I want to talk about Andrew Wiggins. He's been on the Miami Heat now for 9 games. He missed about 5 or 6 games. So he was here for 15 of Welcome back to the Team to Beat Miami Heat podcast, your one-stop shop for daily Miami Heat content. My name is Amir. For today's episode, I want to talk about Andrew Wiggins. He's been on the Miami Heat now for 15 games, but he's only played 9 of those 15 games. And while it's still been early, there's a lot to break down when it comes to his fit with this Miami Heat team moving forward, because the Miami Heat are on a 5-game losing streak. They're going to play the Boston Celtics today. Most likely going to lose that game, and it's going to be a lost season at this point. And he still has a few more years left on his contract. And so after him being a key piece for the Golden State Warriors and winning a championship with the Warriors back in 2022, Wiggins now finds himself in a new system that ultimately demands two-way excellence and relentless effort and the ability to step up in high-pressure moments, because the Miami Heat don't have very much clutch players. But Wiggins seems to be adjusting to the Heat's culture, and I want to talk about what his addition means for this team moving forward, because right now the Heat aren't winning, even though he's been playing really well and he's had an impact, and it's not just his fault. But outside of him, Bam, and Tyler, no one really else is stepping up consistently for the Miami Heat since he's been here. And so through his first several games with the Miami Heat, Wiggins, again, has been solid. He's averaging 18.9 points per game, 4.7 rebounds, 3.1 assists per game. And he's stepping into a role where he's expected to contribute as a secondary scorer. Bam has been averaging actually more than him the past month and a half, averaging 23 points per game. But you still expect him to be that secondary scorer behind Tyler Hero. We need him to be also one of our best perimeter wing defenders as well. And the Miami Heat are struggling right now, like I said, through a losing streak. And his production is even more critical and crucial, and hopefully can start translating to victories. And one of the biggest things that Coach Eric Spoelstra has emphasized about Andrew Wiggins and his fit is his ability to defend multiple positions. He loves playing small ball. He loves when his wings can guard 1 through 3 or 1 through 4. And he's that type of guy. Miami's defense thrives when they have long, athletic wings like him, who can switch, like I mentioned, seamlessly between, again, guarding that perimeter, but then also protecting the paint against power forwards. He's not going to guard center. He's not going to be a small ball 5. That's what Bam is there for, and that's what Kel'el Ware is there for. But Wiggins, he has length. He does have strength, even though he doesn't look very big. But you combine that with his ability to contest shots, play passing lanes. He's a good one-on-one defender, and that's a natural fit, I think, alongside Bam Adebayo. And Andrew Wiggins most recently was saying that I'm getting more comfortable every game. The system here is all about effort and playing for each other, and that's what I'm trying to do every night. And he's been doing a good job of that. For years, though, Wiggins, he's been labeled as a player that's inconsistent. He's shown flashes of brilliance. He was obviously the number 1 pick overall with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he got traded to the T-Wolves for Kevin Love, who's now his new teammate. But it's just, there's times where he's inconsistent, and there's stretches where he seems disengaged. He's not a guy who's going to take over your team. You need him as your 3rd or 4th guy on the team, honestly. He's not going to be your number 1, your number 2, or even number 3 option at all times. I think he's more of that number 4 option on a very good team. He could be number 3 possibly, and he's already proven that he's that good of a player because he's an NBA champion. But again, the Heat are known for their demanding approach and holding players accountable at all times, especially being a two-way player. And those are the types of players that they want and they need, because we do have Tyler Hero, we have a Duncan Robinson, we have a Terry Rozier, we have guys who are not two-way players, and we need to pair them with guys like Wiggins who can support them within the scheme. And so Andrew Wiggins, is doing well, running very well defensively for this team. Coach Spo, his style emphasizes defense first, and we've seen Wiggins buy into that so far and in his career. And he has that ability to take on tough assignments, and that gives Miami Heat another wing option outside of Haywood Highsmith to help. And they desperately needed that in the past seasons with Jimmy Butler, but too bad we had to trade Andrew Wiggins for Jimmy Butler. Bam Adebayo has also been happy with the new addition and has been vocal about how Andrew Wiggins is versatile and how he helps the team. And he said he's a guy who can thrive as a secondary option offensively behind Tyler Hero, but his real value is how he complements the Miami Heat's core pieces. Like him, Tyler, and Bam have been averaging 22 points and more the last like 7 games. But again, it hasn't really led to winning, which sucks because Wiggins has all the tools. Like he again has the ability to switch. He has that length. He does have that strength. He has that on-ball defense. He's also a good rotational piece. Um, it's just it's not clicking yet. But again, while defense is going to be a major focus, his offensive role is still being fine-tuned. He's only played 9 games with the Miami Heat. He's trying to figure out Tyler Hero's playing style. He's trying to figure out his spots, like when to take over and when to be aggressive and when to play in transition. And his athleticism, it allows him to attack mismatches, which is something the Miami Heat needs. It's harder for Tyler to do that because he's undersized, but Tyler uses more finesse and has more skill offensively. Or Andrew Wiggins can come in as, he kind of plays a little more bully ball to a certain degree. He plays in that mid post. He does have that turnaround jump shot, and he has the size to jump over and get a shot up over smaller guards, which is huge. All we need for him to do right now is just build chemistry, and he's doing that. And one area for growth for Wiggins in Miami is playing with more of a half court offensive set. The Warriors system really revolved around constant motion and reacting to what Steph Curry is obviously doing. And everything was drawn up for Draymond to facilitate, to find Steph Curry. And they had the 5-out motion offense as well. So he needs to learn when to attack and when to defer and how to best space the floor alongside Tyler and Bam. And, he's been shooting pretty well from 3 as well. So what does this addition mean for the Miami Heat moving forward? If he can stay consistent and provide the Miami Heat with the same level of play, but being more consistent, I would say, on the offensive end and being aggressive for all 4 quarters, that's going to take pressure off Bam. That's going to take pressure off Tyler Hero. So we'll see. But I do like his fit so far with this Miami Heat roster. And he could be good on this team moving forward because he is, 29 years old. He is a solid veteran, former NBA champion who could fit next to Tyler and Bam, or he could be a trade asset who's going to be making like 28 million next season, and they could use that plus the draft picks that they're going to get a Kevin Durant, get a Trae Young, get whoever may become available. So the options, for the Miami Heat, they have multiple options, which is good. I wouldn't mind him being on this team for the remainder of his contract. I wouldn't mind the Miami Heat trading him at this point. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, the Miami Heat have a lot of questions they need to answer in general with this roster moving forward. But Andrew Wiggins could be someone I'm happy to keep or happy to trade.